What's up, everyone? It's Adrian from Adrian's Awesome Accumulation. Welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at another Megalomaria model kit, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Valiant. So let's get started with the box. All right. So here we got the box art. Actually, again, we move the model kit back. Hopefully she can stand because she is on high heels. All right, there we go. There we got that. All right, so move the camera back so you guys can see. So here we got the box art. I'm going to put it sideways so you guys can see that we have the artwork right there of the Valiant. As you can see, this one is officer themed, so she's like a cop, so that looks pretty cool. And then this is the first one with a human face that comes with the human face. So that's pretty cool. You can see her like attire right there and her weapons in her back. She has like some handcuff weapons, magnum and stuff like that, a baton. That's pretty neat. On the side of the box here, we have like the classic, like machine type faces, and then the human face. Nothing else much here. On the top, we have, again, the character artwork, but this time with the machine face. In the front, we had the human face. On the side here, we have like a pose that we can get her in. We have all the stuff that she comes with right there. And then another pose right there. And on the back here, we got a few poses right there. In her human form, as you can see. And then if you have different model kits from the lines, you can switch off the heads and stuff like that. Again, like all the articulation, you can get the arms going across right there. Some other neat poses you guys can get, sitting poses, that's pretty neat. And then right here, we have like the head pieces that you can like switch around and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. That's the box right there. Now, let's focus in on the model kit. All right, you guys, so here she is right here. And I gotta say, it looks pretty awesome. As you can see, like I painted it up to make it a little bit more, make her look a little bit more like an officer. Because it was like the blue was like this, excuse me, it was like this purplish bluish color, as you can see right here, like on her shoulders. That's like the whole color of her like outfit. That's how it was. So I painted it like a brighter, like metallic blue, and I think it came out really good. I like the way it came out. And I did some like gold highlights because like on officers you kind of see like on their, like they have like a badge and have like some gold right there, and I was like, that's pretty neat. I was like, I want to give that like like put that into like the rest of her outfit. So yeah, I gave her that gold around her arms right there, and then around her, like her body armor right there, and then her skirt and her belt buckle. And I think it came out really good. You guys can see right there. And then yeah, I gave it some on her, like on her abs right there. That's kind of like the under body armor right there. So like the color of her legs. The legs were also like purple, and I just did that gunmetal color, and that came out great too. So let's take off her magnum weapon right here, and let's go over articulation. All right, so from the Megalomaria series, you can expect the articulation is going to be great. You have the arms that go all the way around. They come up to T-pose. Again, you can get it going wider if you go like this. And then not only that, they do have butterfly joints, so you can bring them out. And then from the back, they do spread out. So let me get that hairpiece out of the way. Like so. So yeah, you're gonna get like a whole bunch of range right there, as you guys can see. So that's great. And then for the waist, she could bend back that far back, bend that far forward. You can actually tilt her side to side. That's pretty good. I think they improved that, so that's good. And then she can move right there at the upper body. She can rotate, so that's pretty neat. All right, for the head, let's get this hairpiece out of the way because this is going to hinder it a lot. But yeah, she can look up that high. She can look down that low. Again, the kind of joint is kind of weird, but yeah, she can look up that low. The head does tend to pop off a lot, so just be careful for that. She can tilt her head. She can look all the way around. And the neck moves a lot. Well, the ball peg. If you just want to move the head, it kind of moves the neck too. So it's kind of, I noticed that's a lot with these Megalomaria ones, so that's kind of annoying. But excuse me again. But you know, you can get through it. I mean, for the amount of articulation, that's just a small little like gripe. But yeah. All right. So like her waist, you can get all these flaps moving up right here. All right. Get the back one up. So it's not going to linger. It's not going to hinder the leg articulation that much. But yeah, you can get her legs going like that. That's the splits. This is being hindered because of this waist piece right here, as you guys can see. But like forward leg movement, it's still pretty high. You know, it won't be going like high as all the other ones because this piece is well, like you can still make it. Yeah, you can still actually have it going up as high as most of the other Megalomaria kits right there. But yeah, and then back again because of the butt plate, it's gonna be hindered. But yeah, all right. So she got double jointed knees right there, and then she can rotate right here at the thigh, and not at the knees. All right, for the toe, for the foot, you can bend it back that far forward, and it does have an ankle rocker right there. All right. Again, let's see. For the arms are single jointed, but you know you get a lot of range, so that's good. And then the hands are on a ball peg, like always. So that is pretty much the articulation with this one. Actually, the hairpiece is on the ball peg right here. You can move it up, down, you know, side to side, sideways, rotate it and stuff like that. Although this hairpiece is very like stiff. I mean, it's not bendable, so it's like, yeah, you're gonna be careful to make sure not to drop it or like bang it against anything because it'll probably break. So yeah, I wish they would give you a more like bendy plastic for this hairpiece, the ponytail piece, but other than that, you know, it's pretty good. All right, so there's the articulation, and stick with me and I'll show you her accessories. All right, you guys, here we have the accessories. So let's start with the bottom here. Here we have two of like these handcuffs right here. As you can see, I painted them a gunmetal color, and I painted this inner piece right here. I have put it like silver, and you can hardly barely tell because it's a little bit, but I did paint that silver. And then the chain, I painted black right here, like the little chain piece right there. And the cool thing about these is that they open up right there, so they are articulated a little bit, and they do open up. Of course, I didn't paint the inner piece right there, but I guess these are supposed to be like replacement, like cuff pieces for her arms. So like instead of like this like blue cuff right here that she has, you can put this on her. But you know, I don't really like the way this looks. I kind of like the way that blue looks right there. But I feel like this was like a missed opportunity for them. Like this could have been, you know, like her little like she could have had like little handcuff, like a little handcuff accessory where she could like, you know, like cuff people's like arms and stuff. I think that would have been cool with the smaller chain. It does come with the chain, but I think the chain is too long. But yeah, like I'm thinking maybe I might like cut this piece off right here or something, and then just have it like, you know, just like modify it or something like that. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet, but like I was thinking, yeah, I'll probably cut this piece off and then just have it and get like a little chain or something like that, and then like chain these things to two, and then have it like as a little like, you know, handcuff like accessory for her to like cuff people with. So yeah, I mean it's pretty cool idea, but like for like wrists, but like I think missed opportunity. It could have been a cool like handcuff accessory, you know, like weapon thing that she had right there. So there's these, and then again, this is her chain that she comes with right there. It's pretty long. Again, these can like attach to these handcuff weapons right here. That's why I painted it black because the chain was black. And then that's also can be chained with these ones, as I'll show you later. But yeah, there's that chain. And then she comes with two, but these are like, she comes with several like thigh pieces right here. But as you can see, I did paint these up So a gunmetal color right there, and then this part I left unpainted because, you know, if you paint it, it becomes stiff, it'd be hard to move. So I left it for the sake of articulation. And also the bottom parts right here, you don't want to paint this ever because this is where like the thigh, you know, rotates and stuff like that. Again, if it's painted, it's gonna be stiff. So I left that as is. But yeah, got 2 thigh pieces there. And then she does come with like, I do have like these like skin tone ones right there, and she comes with several. So there's one for like her, and then one for like if you want to change the ones from like a different line that they have and stuff like that. All right, but getting into the hands right here, we have like 2 karate chop or saluting hands right here, and these were just white. I didn't paint these because I think I was like, oh, you know, white gloves make sense for an officer. So yeah, I didn't paint them, but yeah, okay, got those. And then we got these 2 like grabby hands right here for like probably her baton. And then we got these kind of like widespread, you know, like she has her fingers kind of weird, like spread out in a kind of weird way, kind of hands right there. And we have 2 grabbing hands. These are going to be for like her handcuff weapons. And then we got some grabbing hands with like the fingers curled in a weird type of way right there. Right? And then we got, you know, about to pull the trigger hand right here. This is her left hand. I have one attached because she has the gun on right now. And then we have just like a widespread kind of hand right there. This is the left one or the right one. And I have one right there, which is kind of like using it to like hold her stance right there. And then we got an eye tool. So this is pretty neat. Her eyes are movable on the machine mask and the human face right there. Let's actually, let me show you right here. This is the human face. So pretty nice. The eyes are movable, as you can see right here. And now I got her kind of like cross-eyed right there. But yeah, all right. So we got those. The face came out kind of nice. Pretty cool. Pretty cool that they give you human faces now and stuff like that, and they're adding like movable eyes. I mean, it makes sense because that's where like I feel like the rest of the toy industry is going. Like almost every like toy now has like movable eyes. At least coming from like, you know, like a foreign company, like Japanese companies or Chinese companies. And this is her like baton kind of weapon right here. I did paint this up. This is like gunmetal. This right here is silver. I painted that silver, this silver and stuff. And then this piece, of course, is just clear piece that came with it. And I think this also doubles as the eye tool because it has this little part right here, which is the same. So yeah, that's pretty neat. So if you ever lose that piece, I think you can use this piece. Just make sure you don't lose both of them. So there's that weapon. And then here we have her cuff weapons right here. And these I painted also. So I painted this a gunmetal color right here. You know, the bottom part. And then I painted this like where the cuff part is. I painted that silver. And then on top I painted that gunmetal again. And then, of course, the little chain right here. Painted black. And this piece, the handle piece. Then paint that gunmetal and paint the little part on the bottom right here. Silver. And it is articulated right here, so you can like have it coming out all the way over here, and then you could just put it back. I guess this is where she's gonna like, you know, grab her weapon. I guess you can use them as like weapons and stuff. And the red piece up here is articulated, so you can have that coming out like so. So like maybe she can like attack somebody like that, you know, slash them, something like that. Whoa. All right, hold on, everybody. All right, sorry about that. The camera was acting up. So this is articulated. That's I think I was saying right there. And then so this little red piece, and like it's attached to this little red piece right here, right? And you can articulate this like so. Right there. And then this little red piece can move, you know, back and forward. And then it can also rotate like up and down right there. And then this just pegs into her back, her lower back. I'll show you right now. But yeah, so there's that. And then again, you can attach the black chain that it comes with. You can attach it right here to these little like pieces of chain right there. All right. And then actually, let me show you her gun. So let me take off her gun right here. And then this is the gun. I did paint this also, and I think it came out really cool looking right here. So I painted this like kind of like the middle part right here of the gun with the where the put the bullets in, right there, the chambers. I painted that silver, and then I painted the outer piece like gunmetal, and I painted the little like right here, I forget what it's called, but yeah, I painted that silver, and then the handle I painted brown with this little piece right here black. I gotta say it came out pretty good. This piece was where I had it clipped on the alligator clips when I was painting. So this piece is kind of like right there, but you won't really see that because that's where she's holding it, right? But yeah, but other than that, I think the gun came out pretty cool, and it's a pretty cool Magnum and stuff like that. You know, like been playing Resident Evil 9, and then Leon's Requiem. That reminded me a lot of that. So yeah, so it's pretty cool that she comes with a Magnum. Pretty neat. All right, we got that. And actually, she has two more accessories right here. So she has this little thing right here. And this is basically where you can put the baton on. Let me show you. Right there. So she can have it like stored right there. And of course, I have it right here on this little side skirt, but you could put it like right here. You could put it here. You could put it probably not there. I mean, maybe you could probably put it there, and then you could put it right there on this piece right here, or on her back. You know, anywhere she has like a little hole like to like peg in, you can put it in there. And then speaking of the other one, this is the other one. This is where you put the Magnum. So you just put it in like so, and she has it stored right there. So that's pretty neat. And again, that one you can place anywhere. There's like a little hole slot to put in. All right, let me just get her out of this pose real fast, and let me show you how you attach the handcuff weapons. All right, let's get her. We take off her hair for right now, just for like demonstration purposes. All right, so right here, it's gonna plug into this lower back piece. I specifically said this lower one because I think this one might be smaller. So we're gonna peg that in right there. You can see there's the connection. It's gonna stay out a little bit, but I think that's good so it doesn't get like stuck in there. But yeah, and then you can just rotate that like so. Rotate the cuff weapons, bring them out a little bit so they look like, I don't know, like a handcuff wings or something like that. And then bam, there you go. All right, so those are all hair accessories. And now for the posing. Pose 1, gun check. Pose 2, ready for orders. Pose 3, justice for all. Pose 4, super cop. Pose 5, future cop. All right, everyone, there you have it. There's the Megalomaria Valiant done and complete, and this is a very cool model kit from the Megalomaria series. I think this is their best one thus far. In terms of like accessories, she comes with a lot of accessories. She comes with a gun, a little like police baton thing, and the handcuff accessories and stuff like that. And two faces, a human face and a machine face and stuff like that. Yeah, like these model kits are pretty usually kind of light on accessories, but this one has a whole bunch. Maybe I forgot the priest one was, that one also came with a whole bunch of accessories with the guns and the cross and stuff. But like, yeah, this is pretty good. I hope they continue like this in the future. And yeah, really cool model kit. Like the cop, theme and stuff like that. Pretty good. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. God bless, and bye.